So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everyone, this is Ho Ho Hong Kong with me, your CO-HOST co-host Vivek Mobani, along with the other co-host who is...
Hello, I'm Mohammed Nagde.
Yeah, it's good to be over here.
It's good, very good to be over here.
I know, let me just say, the weather's nice and cold.
It's not so cool. It's beauty.
It's beautiful.
It's very beauty.
It is a blue sky with the cool wind on the face.
How do people find?
Found me? They have found me in many ways, but they can be finding me in other ways, which is at a funny Vivek. And yourself?
I'm at the other Mohammed.
Oh, fantastic! It's not the Mohammed, but the other one.
Yeah, on the interweb.
That's right.
It's very weird how rich the city can be and how you're never I'm never satisfied.
Never, yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of a Hong Kong thing. I don't know if this is true
I think so, because the problem is that Hong Kong's so small that someone's doing better next to you. It's always there's no proximity.
No.
Everywhere else in the world there's some space so they can distance themselves. Like they can gated communities, they'll put an extra gate so you can't even go into their terrace and everything.
That's right.
Here it's your neighbor. You probably share the lift with like a multi-billionaire without realizing it.
It's so cute that you assume I have a lift. That is adorable.
Of course, I mean, you people have to do the whole self-manual lifting called walking upstairs.
By the time these people listen to this, I would have moved and maybe not survived the move. I'm moving again from a walk up to another.
There we go.
Which I did 2 years ago, and this is also quite telling of like how much the age makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago I moved from TST, also walk up, to my current place in Saimpun, walk up, and I moved over the course of a week, and it was mostly like after work I would go to the house, pack up some stuff, go down the stairs, walk to the MTR, take the MTR, walk up the stairs on the other side and drop it off, and then go back home to TST to sleep. And that was actually not bad at all.
Yeah.
Like, including, I'm not joking, I moved a microwave this way, for example.
Holding on to it.
Like, holding on to it, going down the stairs, my place, walk to the MTR, which is like a 10-minute walk. And it wasn't even because of like, oh yeah, of course I can take a bus or a taxi.
Sure.
But it was just like, it wasn't bothering me. I wasn't tired. It was not super inconvenient. It was like, whatever. I was just
Back
like
then,
something to do in the evening. However, so I'm moving less than 2 years later. Looking at the stuff that I have, which is the same stuff, if not less, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to put anything in one bag.
Yes.
I don't want to move a spoon.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything.
Just get it done for me.
Get it done for me. And I don't have more money than I had 2 years ago. I'm the same income, same everything. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm just old.
Yeah, it's for sure. And I think at our age, like the 30s and 40s and stuff like that, the age jump is higher.
Yeah,
You know what
way
I mean?
higher.
Yeah, the feeling of like I'm turning 15 to 16, you're like, I feel no difference. You have an energy level.
Yep.
But 34 to 35, you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
But 39 and 40, you're like, oh man. Oh, full on.
Also, I'm moving from Saimpun to Saimpun. I'm moving to Taiping Shan, which is less than 10-minute walk from my current place.
And you just can't
I can move the entire house if I want to on like one of these cart wheels.
Yeah, you could.
Thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah, except that I'm so not going to.
Yeah. I think what's happened is everyone in their life has a certain quota of carrying shit, walking here and everything. And by the time you're 30 something, you've run out of that quota.
Yeah,
you've done it all.
Yeah.
I've carried everything I need to carry for this lifetime.
Yes.
After that, someone's got to be else to do it. You know? Oh yeah.
I'm like, I will pay half my income to not to have to do this myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm just not going to.
I'm sure like everybody agrees. Like once you hit that 30 point and you're no longer ambitious, like oh, it's gonna be fun. You know, we're gonna move house. It'll be awesome. We'll make a day out of it. Now we're like, I'm doing this again.
Yeah.
And I'm just moving. Like this isn't pointless. I didn't need to have this microwave for me to go for a walk.
And to get like a little bit serious for just a minute, I was walking over here to record. And I'm just like pissed about my life, about like, oh, and the crazy part is I'm not pissed that I'm moving. I'm pissed because the movers are coming at 9 a.m. and it's so inconvenient for me.
I gotta wake up.
This is how privileged I am. I'm in my Saimpun apartment. Some brown guys are gonna show up in the morning, pack all my life for me.
Now remember, they're coming all the way to your house.
Yes.
Which means they've got to get way earlier than that.
Of course.
Yeah, make sure they got breakfast and everything.
Get breakfast. Also, gotta find parking because there's no parking downstairs on
Their
Queens
problem,
Road.
not yours.
their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then I'm walking over here. I'm genuinely pissed. I'm just like, frowny, and I'm looking all this like fucking rich people eating at
Soho
restaurants
area, you're
in
like, you
Soho
piece of
area.
shit,
Yeah, and I'm just
yeah.
angry at them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate all of you. I hate my life. I'm like, they're coming in the morning. I don't know if I will have my coffee. Like,
Yeah.
these are my problems,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And then I come up here. We record on Kane Road, and I'm coming up the mid levels, and then this guy spots me from across the street from where that. What is they called it?
Oh, the corner, the bakehouse and Staunton.
Yeah. But what it was then? Now it's like a French.
It used to
bar.
be called Staunton.
Staunton.
Yeah.
So where Staunton was, now it's a French bar with some
One of those,
douchey
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
So this
Staunton.
guy,
Le Staunton.
this guy just spots me and make eye contact with me before I made the escalator, and he just kind of stops me. I'm like, all right, and he speaks to me in Arabic.
Wow.
And I realized
He just
that
knew.
He just knew
Oh,
because I had
wow.
my mask down.
Yeah. This is
So-
why I keep the mask on, man. Is
Exactly.
he Indian? I have no
Yeah.
idea. Let's not bother him.
To be honest, yeah, for a split second before he opened his mouth, I thought he's Indian, and I thought he's asking for directions. That's what I thought. But he spoke Arabic, and I realized from the accent he is Syrian. And I kind of put it together very quickly. I looked
Yeah.
behind him. There's another two men who kind of looked like similar. There is two women in hijab and two little kids, two girls who cannot be maybe more than 3 years old. And he starts just rambling on about how he came with some sort of agency.
Could you give us
brought
like a sample of that Arabic? Like, let's say, I want to hear what it sounds like. Like, let's say I'm walking down there. I'm like, okay, so this is me. All right, I'm gonna be me. You're gonna be him. We're gonna role play. All right, so I'm gonna pretend I'm your thoughts in your head.
I'm gonna stop you here just because I'm worried about your career. Like,
No. I want to get that sense of like this person approaches me and gets that, but I want to do the whole scene where I'm coming up and I'm thinking your thoughts right now.
Right,
Okay.
right, yeah.
All right. So this is gonna be me imitating you.
Yes,
And
yes.
you're that guy that walks up,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I hate my life. I just look at these white people. But you're over there drinking on a Friday, and look at me. I've got to move house. Boo-hoo. Remember, I'm the other Muhammad. Can't even be the main Muhammad. Got to be the other one.
This is me
Yeah.
translating me as the Syrian guy translating to English.
All right.
Save my life.
Oh, wow. You went with that?
Yeah, he opened with that.
Damn. Okay. And you're like, Oh, damn.
No, it's very quickly puts your problems in perspective.
Yeah, he's explaining a
Because-
situation.
Yeah, he's explaining a situation, and this is not something to make fun of. The situation is dire.
Oh.
Yeah. So he just goes on about how someone brought him, like some agency brought him for work, and he doesn't know how to reach them. And it was just like a lot, and I was kind of late for this
Yeah,
recording.
yeah.
And it was just a lot to deal with. And I told him what I think is helpful to try to go to the mosque in Kowloon. He didn't know what Kowloon is. He didn't know where the MTR is. He was like, "Can I take a taxi?" I'm like, "You just told me I have no money. What are you talking about?"
dude, you're a little bit. That's a quick way to go to burn up the money.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So, but he wasn't saying that to be a douche. He
just
just didn't
like,
know
how
what
do
the
I go?
MTR
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
So
man.
I pointed him to the MTR, and I just realized, oh yeah, my life is amazing.
Yeah.
I was just mad at like white people drinking on the street. Like, okay, yeah, I see it. It's like the movies.
Correct, yeah.
Very quickly, like, oh my god.
Yeah, what am I
have
saying?
Nothing to complain about.
Absolutely.
Because Syrians are like very close to Egyptians. Actually, at one point between the 1950s and 60s, Gamal Abdel Nasser, who is known as Nasser,
Yeah.
like had some unification with Syria. Syria was literally part of Egypt, even if they don't share a border. They were
Okay.
one country for about 3 years.
Okay, got it.
So Syrians and Egyptians are very close, like
So
culture.
it'll be similar to me where like I'm Sindhi and I'm
Yeah.
from Sindh, which used to be basically India, but now
Right.
it's Pakistan.
That's
And-
right.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So it's like very close to us in terms of even dialect and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, this could be me very easily. What the fuck am I complaining about?
Yeah.
And again, I want to make it very clear. I'm not making fun of these people. I like to think I did help. I don't want to say how I even helped, but I did think I helped a lot.
Yeah.
But then at some point, I also like I gotta bring it back to my cell phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I have no problems. Like
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're just like, hold on. So my biggest issue right now is
Yeah.
that they're having drinks over here and I'm not.
Yeah.
And within like 12 hours time, I've got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I know
Yeah.
that feeling, man.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
kind of go like, man, I'm a dick.
Yeah.
It's like, how ungrateful am I?
How I'm grateful. That's exactly right.
But then put it on in perspective. when you walk in past Soho and you see some of these extra privileged people complain like, "Oh, my drink's not cold enough," you're like, "Oh, you piece of
Exactly.
shit." Oh my
it's
God.
like no one is happy.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, hold on a second, you should be extra like, and you bring that Syrian
You should
guy.
look at both of us. now.
Yeah, exactly. What you should do, like, walk around with the Syrian guy, like, dude, help me, come here. All right, sir, did you just complain to the waiter that your mojito didn't have the right straw? He's like, yeah, what about it?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Say it.
Say it.
And he's like, whoa, you got me, man.
Exactly.
It's okay with the mojito.
And then he's like, if you can't relate to this guy, relate to this one.
Yeah.
Who's like, I'm moving from walk up to a walk up.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, why would you do that?
You
to
see how
yourself?
you're in Soho? You know why you're here? Because there's an escalator. You would not walk up this slope,
Exactly.
sir. You know, oh
Yeah.
man, I could get it, man. No, but I fully look. I totally agree with the perspective thing, and it happens to me a lot. Generally, like when I go to schools and give talks and everything, and I'm just like, man, you know, what? I should not be complaining. I'll give you an example. Like where I live here, it's super convenient, right? Especially for a lot of gigs I do, let's say in hotels and stuff. So I had a gig at a Conrad hotel. I finished it at 11:35. And I was like, I just want to go home. 11:45, I was home. I was like, man, I should not complain, man. How dare I
It's
bitch?
just like you're like, make a wish. You're like,
Yeah.
I just want to go home, close your
Boom,
eyes, and you're
bust
home.
your, $6.20 later. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm home. I'm like, wait a second, I should not complain. And full on, man. I think the one thing that we in general, it's like saying, fish doesn't know it's wet because it's in water its whole life. So it'll never
Right.
know, right?
Yeah.
But it's good to have that. But then again, I'm also saying, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you should be angry at yourself for being ungrateful. It's like, there was a reason why you were feeling really frustrated.
Yes.
Mostly because like you're like, dude, I really try. I'm trying to do my best, but these problems keep coming up.
Yeah.
Right? And it's always some little, like, as we've heard in the podcast, we know Mohammed is the person you want to be with. Much like you you want that friend who's not doing well to show up and make you go like, dude, you know what?
Yeah.
You're my Syrian.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, definitely. You know what? It brings me back because I'm reading this book, Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime.
Yeah.
He's talking about his life growing up in South Africa. I'm halfway through it. And again, it's like really cool because he's talking about the racism and everything he faced. And here I am in Hong Kong at like diversity, inclusion and equity summits going like, you know what? Racism in Hong Kong needs to be dealt with this way. And I read his book. I'm like, man, I was just called Acha. Like, that's it. Like, his government was like...
It's like, oh yeah, this cop on the street who's very respectful.
Yeah, he's just doing his
said
job.
your name wrong.
Yeah, he called me what? I'm going to make a whole 7-minute bit about this, you
And
piece
make
of
money
shit.
off
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And while this guy's like, oh yeah, apartheid has actually destroyed the whole place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I should shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that,
this
man.
white cop saw like my uncle and then just instead of
Just shot
frisking
him.
him, they just shot him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And so like what did they call you when they shot you? Oh, they didn't shoot you. No, they asked you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a different word.
They asked you.
Yeah,
They didn't even touch you. They
They
just
didn't even touch
said, they
you,
called
yeah.
you wick wick.
Exactly. That's all they did. You know what they call my uncle? Bang bang. Yeah. All enough, the guy didn't move his mouth. Maybe he's a ventriloquist and the gun is his puppet. Man. Yeah, full on, dude. I think every now and then we should all have those stories and moments that remind you of where you are.
Yeah.
And they have the whole thing like, oh, you should be grateful for everything. Spend 2 minutes to be grateful for your life. But what happens is it becomes very repetitive. Oh, I'm grateful that I'm healthy.
Right.
Grateful that, and it's the same stuff.
So this is actually a good challenge to have. Are you or me or anyone who's listening, are you able to be grateful for 3 new things every day in your life for like a month, let's say?
Absolutely. And you know what
That's
the truth
90
is?
things.
It's actually really easy. Like every morning I have this habit. I have to find 2 things I'm grateful for yesterday. all right? 2 things. And that's a habit I do everything.
Yeah.
What's happened is after all these years of doing it, every morning I know I'm going to find something good out of yesterday.
Yeah.
So no matter how bad today sucked, and I'm going to bed going like, oh God, today sucked ass, man.
Right.
Oh my God, I hate today. Like nothing good worked out. By tomorrow, I'm confident I'll figure out something good. For example, I've done gigs where like, I've done stuff where I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't want to be here. Everything they're demanding too much. I'm just tired. I didn't even get dinner before the gig. I'm so exhausted. I can't even sleep because I'm so tired. All that stuff, right? The next day I wake up, I'm like, you do realize that you got to go perform in a hotel.
Yeah.
And you basically were in front of all these people who might be potential clients in the future. And all for one sacrifice of one meal at night that you didn't get to eat. Oh, boo freaking who.
Yeah.
And after you finish your meal, you got paid.
Yeah.
You get to go home and use the money you got paid to buy food and have change.
Right.
Right? So you shut your mouth, and be grateful that's what you guys do.
Also, don't know if you want that on record. You go to your own house.
Yeah.
You're not paying rent.
Full on, dude. This is something this is one of my things that it's all my, okay, so this is how anal I am,
Obviously,
right?
because a lot of your circle is obviously expats, and you know that like almost no expat own their house.
Correct.
here.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
like
you're not
the
an expat.
privileged.
You're a local, but
Yeah.
you're still like among your
I
circles.
have that point. Oh yeah, even locals, dude. This is not
Yeah,
a common.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
exactly like everyone has their own house.
Sure.
So full on. So
on Kane Road.
on Kane Road as well, right? You know,
Yeah.
like usually it's like one weird corner that's 20 minutes walk up a hill,
Yeah.
and you have this one
In
door that,
Shamsway-po.
yeah, in Shamsway-po, you know, and this door that creaks, and then don't make sure you don't creak because the neighbors next to you
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, on my to-do list,
Mm.
I have set these reminders that come up every 4 days, every 7 days
Mm.
of things to remind me, and one of them is actually like, dude, you actually have your own place.
Yeah.
Where you can call home and never have to worry, like, you want to pay how much rent again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff is happening. So, therefore, a lot of times when I'm having bad days, I have so many systems and mechanisms to remind me of the perspective.
Yeah.
However, every now and then, I don't look at the system.
Sure,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah,
Like, for
yeah.
example, okay, good example. We're at Aftermath, right? And there's a whole bunch of people. There's like 16 signups.
I know where this is going.
And I'm like, you know what, dude? I want to do extra long.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to do a longer set. Is that cool? Oh, sure, man. Put yourself at the end. I'm like, no problem. It's worth the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So I'll stay for a little bit more.
So just for context, Aftermath, we're doing the open mic.
Yes,
And
in
on
the open
Tuesday
mic.
night, and comedy open mic at the Aftermath. If you haven't checked it out, go
You
check
should.
it out.
Oh my
it's
God.
very fun. It's a lot of new people trying out basically for the first time.
Yeah.
A lot of not like maybe people who have been doing it for like 6 months or whatever, still figuring it out, and then people like us who are working on new stuff, or just like someone like me who hasn't been performing so
Yeah.
often, just trying to brush up his material and stuff like that.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right,
Keep
so there was a long lineup. There was like, when I got down there at 8 o'clock, it was like 17 people. So I decided to go to Chinese open mic. All right, I go to Chinese open mic, I do a set there, and then I finish. And then before we leave, I'm like, hey, can I do 5 more minutes and try this other bit? Fine, we did it. And me and Tim Toe came back over here, went to Aftermath, saw there was like like 11 people left. I was like, hey, Brian, the guy organizing it. I'm like, hey, I want to go longer. Is it okay? I know, you know, I don't want, I'm not trying to pull my rank, but I
Sure.
really want to try all this new stuff. I'm happy to go last so I don't interrupt anyone's way. He's like,
Right.
sure, no problem, right? So I signed up last and it's like 10 o'clock by the time. And I'm like, I'll be fine, you know, I'm 20
Yeah.
minutes, you know, no problem. And then the next time I check at 10:20, there's like 7 or 8 more people,
Yeah.
each one doing 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, wait, that's another 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then now I'm sitting outside.
And
'cause
then
I'm just
Brian
like,
is doing time in between too.
he's doing time in between. So that means that's another hour to go, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting outside going like, God damn it, man. What a stupid idiot, man. I could have
Yeah.
I had that slot. Do your 5 and just maybe see how you feel and do another 5 at the end, right?
Right.
Oh, look at me, Mr. Big Show wants to do all
Yeah.
this stuff, right? And then I see people go longer or Brian doing longer. I'm like, oh, dude, come on. You should not be doing all this stuff. What's wrong with you?
Right, yeah.
Right? And
You're
so
just getting grumpier.
I'm
and
getting grumpier.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting grumpier. Should I go back home? And like Mohammed is like,
Yeah.
you should just go home, do some work, and come back. I'm like, God damn it, that's a good idea, but I shouldn't. But blah, 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 blah. And so I'm sitting there. I'm like, I got to do something. So I'm starting to type my journal entry on my phone. But I'm like, I hate typing on my phone because it's like a long entry.
Yeah.
I'm like typing, tap, all that stuff. And I'm just like, what am I doing in my life, man? This is ridiculous. Okay. So at that point, but then I'm just like, oh God, what an idiot. I'm never gonna let this happen. I go up there. I do like 10 minutes. And then the crowd, first of all, if the crowd from Tuesday is listening to this,
Yeah.
I don't know how awesome you are, but you stay to like 11.
And you remember that while you're sitting there, like boiling in anger,
Yeah.
there is a crowd who is loving the show.
Yeah.
Inside, willing to sit through.
Another, after the second hour, they go for the third hour by
Third
now.
hour. Also remember, there are first timers going up, literally not exaggerating, saying the N word on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. Oh, dude.
Like all kind of horrific stuff.
I know.
Which is like, it could be shocking for someone who doesn't understand how open mic works. But I'm not saying even it's tolerated. I'm just saying like open mic is where, like it's our jam session.
Yeah.
It's actually, the open mic is not really for the audience. The difference between an open mic and a show is that the show is for the audience. The open mic is for us.
Yes. But we
And-
just need the audience for us to get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the audience don't pay anything.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Yeah, exactly. They get some entertainment. If it's
Exactly.
funny, I laugh. It's not, whatever. I
Right,
had a
but
good
at the
time.
end of the day, it's our jam session.
Yes,
So
correct.
if some guy goes up and screams N-word, he will eventually figure it out.
Yeah.
Or not, but he will eventually, like, he will know this is not okay.
Correct. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. The system will deal with him.
Exactly. The system
Yeah.
will deal with them. Exactly. And to this point, you're sitting there being all mad while the
Yeah.
audience are loving the show.
Yeah.
Willing to sit through, take more risks on every comedian.
Yeah.
If I was audience sitting on this show, I'm not fucking sitting.
Yeah, it's been
listening
2
to this
hours.
shit.
It's not
Yeah.
all A material, so I have better things to do.
Exactly.
And they were still there.
And a Tuesday
Tuesday
night,
night?
it's 11 p.m.
Yeah, and they're still there. And there's
Yeah.
still like 5 more comics to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then finally I go up there And Brian's like, you do your thing, whatever, right? Now I was like, I don't know, man. It's been like 3 hours. They're probably tired. Fine, I'll just, if I can only do 10, whatever, right? I go up there. They're like a good, energetic crowd. I'm like, okay, they're responsive. This is great. I do my 10. I'm like, okay, this stuff is pretty good. I got that. And I'm like, and I actually stop for a moment because my brain is like kind of shocked of like, I didn't expect this to turn out nicely like this. I
You
thought,
actually said it.
yeah,
You
I
said
just
it
I'm
on
like, I
stage.
can't believe you guys are like
Yeah.
still here. I'm really grateful. If you okay with me doing another 5? They're like, yeah, do it. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Right. So my brain, who was like grumpy earlier, like, oh, it's gonna suck. I'm gonna go there, be exhausted. Nothing's gonna work. And I'll think it's crap material, but it's actually they're just too tired because these guys are dragging on. And I go up there, I do another 5. I was like, whoa, hold on a second. Look at the little bitchy over here.
Exactly.
All right, I finish all that. I'm like, all right, okay, got what I need to do. It's late. I want to get home. 2 minutes later, I'm home. And I'm like, dude, this is what I mean, And I come back home like, I really am grateful that I can just
Yeah.
finish it and just go home.
Yeah.
While everybody else, I know at the open mic, let's be very honest, would not be home in like 3 minutes.
No one lives closer to the aftermath than you.
me. Exactly.
And also, like, it makes you think, like, once you get home, you did the material you wanted to try out.
Yeah.
You had audience for it.
Yeah.
Like, and you're in your own house after
Yeah.
2 minutes. You got to think, like, did I even have a problem at all? Like,
Yeah.
that night. I'm not saying
Exactly.
in your life.
And amongst my
but that
peers,
night,
yeah. And amongst my peers, I'm like, I am extremely privileged in that sense.
Yeah.
Right? To have given this, and let's be very honest. If it wasn't for me asking for that extra 10 or 15 minutes, it
Yeah.
may not have been allowed.
Yes.
Let's be very honest about
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
It's kind of, I'm not trying to pull rank, but I do admit and I do acknowledge that I have some sort of sway in like,
course,
hey, I want to
yeah.
get a little bit more of this.
No,
It's
but
okay.
you get your. I wouldn't even call it that. You get your respect, man.
Yeah.
Like you were obviously like probably the most established like stand up
in
in
the
Hong
group.
Kong.
Yeah.
Or in
Exactly.
this group, and also like think about it, like the people that we look up to and respect, and then someone like Jerry Seinfeld walks in.
Oh yeah, I'd
It's
be like, dude,
that's-
just
yeah.
go nuts, dude.
Yeah, just headline my own show.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do
by
whatever you
all-
want.
yeah, dude, like, yeah.
kill my audience. I
By
don't care.
all
yeah.
means, man. Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
not
respect,
because
yeah.
just like he did his time.
Yeah. So
And
he's kind of got that little
he's got-
privilege because he's earned it.
And
kind
in
of a deal,
our
yeah.
own little circle here, you are that.
All right, well,
It's
thank
like,
you, yeah.
you show up and you're like, oh, give that guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, a
and
little
also,
bit more.
you're old.
Yeah, I've been a while in this thing. I'm like, people, if I said something bad about this, it
It's
might
like-
have a strong influence.
And no, respect the elderly is my point.
There as well. Yeah, that as well. Of course. Of course. Yes. As much as age-wise, I'm not the oldest, but still, I get what you mean. I've been doing this like one of the longest ones over there.
Right,
Yeah. So this really is one of those perspective things and gratitude things where I think all of us should take a moment. We're doing like a little Thanksgiving episode in February, right? Because that's how we roll, people.
Because on actual Thanksgiving, we get together, like the expats again get together
Yeah.
and get shit faced.
Yeah, exactly.
And never actually do any. I've done 3 or 4 Thanksgiving here in Hong Kong. Always the same thing. Always
Yeah.
get together at one bar.
Yeah.
Have an open buffet. Speaking of privilege, have an open buffet of fucking turkey and ham and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Get shit faced
and never finish all the food.
Never finish all the
Leftovers
food.
and shit,
Leftovers
where you're
for,
like, I
for
don't want
life.
that,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't want that. It's cold.
Yeah.
And then also, now that I'm thinking about it, never once we ever had anything
A thank you?
Thanksgiving. No, not just even like I'm grateful, like the movies.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for. No, it was just like standing outside smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, it's an excuse. It's not an excuse. Yeah. So I think what we're doing now today with this whole Thanksgiving session is
Yeah.
I'm going to claim that we are on the lunar calendar, which is why this is from the lunar calendar, why this is the Thanksgiving
Exactly.
episode kind of a deal. No, but I mean, look, a lot of times I think people have a misunderstanding for comedians.
Yeah.
They're always like, oh, they're optimistic and everything. But I think we're human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And people need to remember that, like, as much as we're comedians and we like to do what we do, we're still human. We're going to be flawed.
Yeah.
We're going to forget things. We're going to be
Yeah.
sometimes ungrateful, whatever.
Yeah, sometimes you're like tired or you're just not in the mood to like even think like rationally. It's like, oh, this is not a big deal,
Yeah,
whatever. But
exactly.
then you get a wake up call, like
Yeah.
a Syrian family on the street.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
alright.
One of those, exactly.
Yeah.
So in the same way with the audience, I say like, look, a lot of times we do get audience that came in, they're like, oh, these guys suck. I'm not
Sure.
laughing yet.
Yeah.
And like they lose faith in the show. I get it. But at the same time, I always remind them, I'm like, look, you're here. If you automatically shut down every comic coming up because like 1 or 2 wasn't that good,
Yeah.
then you're doing yourself a disservice because now you're not even giving them a chance. You're
Yes.
not giving yourself a chance, right? And so after that, you're just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to claim this as a bad debt and let
Right.
it go, right?
Yeah.
And then even if someone's funny, you're like, oh, well, too late now.
Yeah.
It's way past that point.
That's almost the flip side of what we're saying is the entitlement, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want as audience to be entitled, or honestly as a comic as well. Like we have done shows
Yeah.
where the comic feels that the audience owe them laughs. It's
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, and you're like up there going,
Even
like,
if it's open mic,
Yeah.
it's like no.
Yeah.
They owe you their presence.
Correct. Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah, the laughter is your after product of your work.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Like it's really interesting getting to this topic because with all sorts of self-employment / art form performance and everything, you have that self-discipline.
Yeah.
Right. And it comes down to whether it's writing stuff, whether it's blaming the audience for not finding it funny, whether it's like, am I not funny? Is it their fault? Is it the lighting? Is it the mic and everything? But I think what we all need to remember is that we're doing something that we kind of enjoy, and nobody owes us to let us do this.
No.
Right?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you gotta find it for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you gotta make the effort to make sure the audience get there as well.
Yeah.
Like even like this is not New York. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in New York it's tough. But what I'm saying is that like some in more established markets, people are so familiar with the art form that they're just gonna show up when
Yeah.
they see stand up.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
here you gotta also spend time to spread awareness about the art form.
Educate the audience, let them
Educate
know
the
this is
audience.
actually the quality we're looking at.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, like, I mean, you'll get for example, in Hong Kong, you get a lot of that where people start filming your set, stuff like that. And so people have asked me this. They're like, okay, so what would you do if someone's like filming your set? This is my policy. Number one is I will let them film for maybe like 20 seconds. And then after 20 seconds, I will start noticing it. And I'm like, okay, I think that they're not in the intention of like, just a short clip, just want to have a little moment to remember. I think this person really wants to film this. All right. Now, if there's a mirror reflection where I can see their screen has a live sign on it, they're
Yeah.
live streaming this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can catch that.
Yeah.
Then I will call them out.
Right.
Usually, I very rarely, I'm like, oh man, put the phone down. What are you doing? I won't do that. I will actually make it a point. I'm like, all right, so I just want to say, ma'am, I know you're filming.
Yeah.
It's cool. I appreciate that you think this is worth,
Sure.
recording.
Yeah.
But have some skill at this, man.
Yeah.
This is way too obvious. Like, I can't see your face. What do you think is going to
Right,
assume? Like,
yeah.
her face is flat?
Yeah.
She's got a Samsung tattooed on her face? What's going on, And then I'll make a whole joke about it.
Yeah.
And, like, she might put it away for a while. And then what will happen is that then hopefully it'll kind of address the whole thing. Like, if you get your phone out, I'll probably point it out and make fun of you.
Yes.
So you have some of that. However, every now and then you will still get people who kind of put the phone down and show them their face, but their hand's still filming it, right? And I'm like, man, I'm not distracted by your face. I can still
Right.
see the phone filming.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And also you can see the reflection of the light on their
The light on their
faces.
face and stuff.
Yeah.
And I will start telling them, look, let me teach you how
Yeah.
to bootleg, okay? Oh my God. Did you not go to
Let
school?
the Indian guy teach
Yeah.
you how
Do you not
to
know how to cheat? Like,
Yeah.
how do you, like when you had exams, did you go like, teacher, what's the answer?
Yeah.
Like, is that how you cheated? Like, come on,
Right.
put the phone between your legs,
Yeah.
Or you just happen to cross your arms and the phone's sticking out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Come on, like, show some effort. And then they're laughing about like, okay, he got me
Yeah.
on this one. So a lot of that, I think, and it makes me remember like they're filming you because they really admire what you're doing, and they probably want to record and maybe share with a friend and tell their friend.
course.
As much as I feel it's a disservice because like their friend's not going to get the same experience as you are, but I appreciate that. So a lot of times at the end of the show, if I know someone filmed me, I'd be like, hey, I know you filmed it. Just keep it on your phone, put it on the internet, share with your friends, show them on your phone, but don't be sending them a video. They're like, oh, okay. Then they kind of have an agreement like, okay,
Sure.
he's not
Yeah.
telling me to delete it right now.
One thing I sometimes ask people who film at shows that works for me is that I ask them, listen, if you want to post it online, you can post it with no sound
Yeah, yeah.
and then tag me.
For sure, yeah.
So because you want to show everyone that you're at the school show or you like this comedian, that's fair. If you put like a 10-second clip, that's fine, sound or no sound, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
care.
yeah.
But if you're filming a whole bit or a longer bit, you can post it with no sound.
Yeah.
And I think that works for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. So my policy with gigs as well is I tell them, look, if you want a video, if it's no sound, do whatever you want. I don't care. If you want sound, you get like, I think 10 or 15 seconds, I
Yeah.
tell them, for highlight reels and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can't have like full on a whole bit and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And if you have it with sound, you got to send it to me to take a look.
Yeah.
It's unlikely I'll say no,
Yes.
but I have to have the reference.
Yeah.
Some of those things. So I think a few of those things, I'm very grateful for the respect I've earned now within the gigs that I do. Like when I first started, I've actually had gigs where they would invite me to the office conference room to run my set by them.
What?
Yeah, I never told you about this?
I don't think
Dude,
so.
okay, so I've had gigs where I remember this precisely in a white, brightly lit conference room.
Oh, no.
3 people, just like, let's say, America's Got Talent,
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
at a desk.
Cross-armed,
Cross-armed
like,
and stuff,
yeah.
paper and pen, while I'm going
Taking
through.
notes.
Taking notes.
Lovely.
Taking notes, right?
Yeah.
Nobody is smiling or laughing.
Yeah.
They're like nodding, going like, okay, I got that. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you go. So he's talking about the supermarket. Okay, understood, right? They're doing that, right? Taking notes. I finished the whole set, and they're like, okay, so now the part about taking the MTR train, we'd prefer you take the bus because most of our staff take the bus. Right? And I'm just like, but it doesn't work because I have 3 seats.
Yeah.
They're like, well, make it 2 seats. I'm like, what?
Logically, that doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work
Yeah.
because I have 3 people in the scene. They're like,
Yeah.
well, the other girl doesn't have to be there. I'm like, what? Huh?
The joke, that
Yeah.
you messed up the structure.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't just change it up. Small things they request. I remember this precisely. They're like, oh, and also, you say you go to a supermarket. Now, our company runs some supermarkets, so I want you to specify you went to this supermarket. I'm like, what was the point of
Product
that?
placement.
Yeah, and I was like, product placement to your own staff who
Exactly.
work there.
Oh yeah.
Like convince them, like even he goes there.
Yeah.
Right? You know? I was like, what is wrong with this man?
Yeah, I guess like from their point of view, they want the staff to think that like even cool people
Go there.
to
Their
7-Eleven or whatever it is.
Yeah, or it's custom created for them
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
And like back then, this is way in the beginning of my career, and I was just like, I'm so confused. Why would you want to sell this stuff to your own people? Shouldn't they know?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
shouldn't that be like the default supermarket they think of?
Yeah.
All right, so I do the gig, and I remember mentioning
What was a supermarket?
Parking shop. Yeah. Right. So I do the gig, and that story comes up. And I had a few stories, and one was to get an iPhone at Fortress and stuff like that. Right. So it's basically Hutchison Group, which is like the parking shops,
Sure.
Fat Fortress, and Li Ka-shing side. Right. So I go there, and I'm like, the other day I went to parking shop, and parking shop staff lose their mind.
Really?
Parking shop, yeah, I
He
was
said
like,
orange.
I'm like, what is this, a concert? Like, hello Hong Kong, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said Hong Kong,
exactly.
he knows where he is, you know?
Yeah.
And all that stuff happened, and I'm like, okay, this is so weird.
So, but that also means to the boss's credit, they knew that would like hit with the
Yes.
the employees.
Which blows my mind because
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How are you this happy that I mentioned where you work?
Because you're the guy on stage, you have certain respect.
I guess,
it's the same
yeah.
thing as you said, like when Metallica comes here, it goes, "Hello Hong Kong," and,
you're
they were like, "Oh my
shit,
god!"
yeah, he actually said the word Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing I learned over time.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I
Yeah.
still. Then again, you're right. If let's say Metallica said, "Hey, it's great to be in Hong Kong," I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But
It
like
feels more personalized.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, exactly.
It's like when you send a card.
Yeah.
And it's like dear mother.
Yeah.
As opposed to like call your mom with like her favorite nickname.
Yeah. It's,
You know?
it's very. Then you know the inside scoop. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a very good point. We've actually segued into something I want to talk about, which is "Hello Hong Kong." Oh, this is like the ultimate tagline.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. All right. So I've heard rumors that it's going to change to "Happy Hong Kong."
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They change to "Happy Hong Kong," which doesn't improve it.
Keep it Hello Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Between the two.
Yeah.
now,
Hello
come
Hong
on.
Kong's better.
Also, how do you know it's Happy Hong Kong when everyone is messed up?
Exactly. You
That's
can't.
like,
and
you
head-
can't
yeah.
just tell by the eyes. That's
Right?
not enough.
Exactly. So this is another thing I find is that the Hello Hong Kong campaign. First of all, I just want to say there's a running joke in Hong Kong when we went to school. There's a show called ETV, Education Television, and every episode is like, let's say, maths, Chinese, and there's always the intro. The classic intro for the English episode, teaching English in this education TV thing, is a bunch of animation cartoons with people of different ethnicities getting out of planes, getting out of buses, and all they do, the first word they say is hello. And so it became a thing where like
Right.
you'll have someone like hello,
Yeah.
and then, hello, and then they would just speed it up, hello,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it became a thing. We all would be hello, and we all
Right.
know that.
And that just came back somehow.
And they were like, hello, Hong Kong. I'm like,
2023.
really?
Yeah.
This is after all these years.
But you gotta think that this is the same people who were probably kids at the time when that was popular.
Probably.
So they came up with it now because that's all they know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the problem is that the people who approved this clearly were way older.
Right, yeah.
And they thought, dude,
Yeah.
hello
Yeah.
is the best campaign I have encountered amongst the others
Yeah.
that they've suggested to us. Which
Yeah.
brings me to wonder,
What
did they suggest? Yo Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Ho ho Hong Kong?
Imagine how cool it would be.
Dude,
It
I would
have been-
lose my shit. They're like, ho ho Hong Kong. I'm like, oh my God,
No
we became
way.
the whole campaign.
No way.
People are like checking Spotify,
Yeah,
subscribing. They're like, this is the official Spotify
course.
playlist. I was like,
Yeah.
they're like losing their mind. The government's like, wait, why are they going to this particular comedy show? They are not doing all that stuff.
My suggestion would be Oi Hong Kong.
Oi Hong
I
Kong.
love Oi in
Oi is
general.
good, yeah,
Oi
and
is
it-
great. It's a
it's
good greeting.
Very welcoming for Australians as well.
Exactly,
Right? You have
yeah.
Oi, and Oi in Cantonese is love.
There there you go.
Right.
We're onto something.
We're
You
onto
should have been
something.
like, it should have been Oi Hong Kong.
It should have, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Oi, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
You know, like it's telling you to love Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah.
It's telling you like, Oi, Hong Kong. Where do you want to go? Oi, Hong
Yeah.
Kong. Right?
Yeah.
Or like at least I kept thinking, I'm like, why didn't you just say Hey Hong Kong? Better
Yeah.
than Hello Hong Kong.
No,
or
hello is just
Heya
like-
Hong Kong.
Yeah,
or,
Heya is
yeah,
good.
or Hiya Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
But Hello Hong Kong is like, ah.
Yeah, you went to it like we were talking about a certain comic in the scene the other day on a group when we just group talking shit basically.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this particular comic because their specialty is to find the worst possible version of a joke. Like, we all talk shit on groups, and sometimes we try to one up each other and just come up with random tags and stuff. And this particular comic would always come up with a joke that is structurally a joke, but it's the least funny possible way you can come up with a
saying
joke
that,
about that topic. And that's their specialty.
Nice.
And I think this is the equivalent of what they came up with the Hello Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, that does work. It's just not good. And it's
Yeah.
also the least good one.
Yeah, it's like the least creative.
the
It's
least
like-
creative,
it's like,
exactly.
that's the campaign you go
Yeah.
with, like hello. I mean, have you seen any other country going like hello? Right? That's like the phone call hello.
Yeah,
like in what context do you go hello and go that's enthusiastic?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the charisma in that
You should
hello.
have gone with like, Hong Kong, how can I help you?
Yeah. So Hong Kong, come here. Like, come on, Hong Kong, something like that, right?
Yeah.
There's so many more
I
enthusiastic.
would have also thought of Guy Ao, but that's probably
Yeah, that's like the government's kind of like, oh no, right? Yeah. They're not gonna have guy out. They won't do that. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I really feel this is the issue is that when you have people who sign off the papers, who
Yeah.
make the agreement, who are not the creative, like actual funky type, like, hey, this is life and everything. They're like, oh, this is a word I understand.
Yeah.
This is a word everyone understands.
Yeah.
Okay, by that theory, this is a great campaign. You know what I mean? Like, they basically go through paper lists of like, okay, this ticks all the boxes of like, hello is a word everybody knows. Now that way they
No,
would
that's
know.
not even true. I think hi or hey, because people who are not even English speakers at all
Yeah.
know hi and they don't know hello.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. But then hello would be maybe in English classes. That'd be one of the first words
Right,
they teach
right,
you.
I see,
So
yeah.
they hopefully can have like hello, and they're looking through like a list. Where should we fly to, honey? I know this one word.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of it, but
Yeah.
let's go to that place. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I always feel like they should have made a thing like the Budweiser "What's Up" kind of
Yeah,
campaign.
yeah.
You know, something with Hong Kong. You know, something that people becomes like a tagline that they become a repetitive thing they just say.
Yeah.
Without realizing they're saying Hong Kong. Like when they're saying "What's up," they don't really realize you're saying "What's up." You're just like "What's up," right? And you don't even know what
Yeah.
you're really saying. So
I mean, okay, but on to their credit, obviously, like things are like we are recording. I think Clock and Flap is this weekend.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that already happened by the time people listen to this. So, but the point is, Clock and Flap is happening. Obviously, we talked about Russell Peters' show last week. Those big stuff. So we have another announcement now we can say. Jim Gaffigan is coming on the 3rd of April.
No.
And yeah, the same day you fly
I'm
to
flying
Melbourne.
out, man. Yeah.
And I will very much be at the gig. What's his name? There is another big announcement from another big comedian coming through our buddy Andy at Live Nation in summer. And then Backstreet Boys are coming here.
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah, they're back.
Who's back? Backstreet's back.
Backstreet's back. Yeah. That's
All right.
In a couple of weeks. All right.
All right, Hong
right,
Kong.
there you go.
Yes.
That's it.
That would have been
We
it.
found
man.
it.
Yeah. All right, Hong Kong.
All right, Hong
Let's do this, Hong Kong. You know.
Which is very different from Hong Kong. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hong Kong. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Should be all right. Exclamation mark. Hong Kong.
Oh, that's again.
All right, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
That would
that's-
have done it.
yeah, it's
and
been
get
like, let's do
Backstreet-
it.
Yeah, and what they should do is like literally get Backstreet Boys here.
Yeah.
And just like somehow get some clips of them just going, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like cut the part like, hey, Hong Kong. And then like, all right, get the Hong Kong. Let's
Yeah.
loop that somehow.
I'm sure, like they're all like 50 or whatever. They would have been they would have taken the money and did
Oh,
whatever.
for sure, yeah.
Hong Kong asked
Can you
them
all
to
go
do.
on stage and just say, Streets back? All right, Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You would probably do that at the gig anyway. You can
Exactly.
just cut that clip.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're actually back. All right, Hong Kong, we love you. Boom, got it.
That's it,
right
done.
there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so many. I mean, we have been on this podcast giving free ideas for years.
This is why we're trying to step on those boundaries.
Yeah.
To get the people to listen to this.
Exactly.
We're trying everything.
We're not even criticizing. We're just giving you better ideas.
Exactly. Okay, let's be very honest. Every idea is better than hello. Let's be very straight about it. This was a zero effort kind of
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, yeah. So we have Backstreet Boys coming as well. That's
Backstreet
gonna be
Boys
awesome.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan, who is
My
one of my
God.
favorite comedians of all time. I absolutely love him, and people who have been following me for years know that I did open for him in Shanghai, and we bonded like.
Any chance over here?
I actually don't know. I did talk to him about something else different but I did message him when it was announced, and I'm like looking forward to catching up, and he said yes. And obviously with people with this kind of relationship, we're not friends. I don't claim to be friends with him. We are connected. We follow each other on Instagram. That's already huge.
Huge.
The fact that I have a direct line with him is huge.
Huge.
So I don't want to abuse that, right? And it's the same way, like if you're friends with, anyone you look up to.
Yeah.
So I will wait. Usually we had like a couple of years ago, he had a show in Abu Dhabi, and he asked me to open for him in Abu Dhabi, and that fell through because the COVID cases surged up, and then the gig never happened.
Yeah.
But the point is that he had asked me, which means that if he wants
To
me
get
to
you
open,
down there.
to get me to go to Abu Dhabi to open for him. And the point is that if he wants me to open for him here, he knows I'm here.
Yeah.
I would probably wait for him to ask me, just out of respect. Not like, oh, he should book me, but it's more like,
Yeah.
And if it's closer to the gig and I know no one is opening, I'll probably ask him.
Sure, yeah.
But like for now, I'll just wait.
Let it be, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I'm sure right now you're not on the top priority list of the radar that he's working with.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't care about.
It's like, that's
he also
April,
just
dude.
had a movie open. He's also one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life.
writes a lot of stuff and
Writes a lot of stuff, like going back to gratitude and discipline. That's someone who would walk into an open mic that's been running for 4 hours, see 2 people in the audience falling asleep, and he would just go up and do the best he could possibly do.
Yeah.
Because that's his work ethic. And
Yeah.
that's something we can all learn from. Again,
Absolutely
because
respect that,
I think someone from his perspective is like, oh yeah, great. Like people showed up for me.
Yeah, I sell like thousands of seats and I've only got 2 here. Screw you guys. But no,
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm going to do because that's my brand. That's
Exactly.
Me. Yeah.
That's me. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Look out for the tickets announcement. Tickets open on the 1st of March, which I think is like in a couple of days from the time you're listening to this. But yeah, come to Jim Gaffigan, the Backstreet Boys, whatever. Unless they do. All right, Hong Kong.
Yeah, if that happens, man. I mean, let me tell you something, Mo. If they really did change that campaign
Yeah.
to All Right Hong Kong.
Or
Oh, if they said, oh my God.
if they do
I'm wearing
Hong
that
Kong-
t-shirt every day.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, okay, let's be honest. If they do Hong Kong, this podcast will not just blow up, but it will be on the radar, and that's probably not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. We'll probably get shut down immediately,
Definitely.
claiming that they have some trademark copyright of this thing.
Exactly.
That bought everything possible.
Do you think like, Hello Hong Kong is trademarked then?
I'm
Right?
sure
It's
that
gotta
particular
be.
phrase has to be.
Yeah, because I can't use it to advertise, whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So my challenge is this. Anyone who's listening right now,
Yeah.
if you have a kid, give them a nickname called Hong Kong. If you have a dog, call
Right.
your dog Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So every time you want to refer to them, you'd be like, hello, Hong Kong. Right?
We can close on this really silly joke from Louis C.K. It's a very old bit of his when he goes like, there is no laws to name your kid in the US. He's like, there's no laws. You can call your kid like 15F. Just you can call your kid a name with no vowels. But then he goes, I want to name my kid a full sentence like ladies and gentlemen. so when they're acting up, you'll be like, ladies and gentlemen, please.
That's gold. That's gold. Every roll call in school. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Every event. Ladies and gentlemen. That's can I help you? Right? Oh my God, that'd be so good.
So
he goes to the toilet, you go to either one. Well, I'm ladies and gentlemen. I can do that. Right? Go
Where is ladies and gentlemen?
if they might have the sign ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen for the toilet signs, then they're like, well, I mean, I'm both.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed
I mean,
both.
right now you can go anywhere, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, you know what I love? They win like a big lottery, and on the check that they got a big foam board check
Yeah.
that they could take the photo on.
Yeah.
It's like payable to ladies and gentlemen. Like that's right, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you who are non-binary, you missed out.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Hello Hong Kong is on full effect, full swing. How do you say it?
It's happening. It's,
It's
everywhere.
happening.
It's official. You're gonna see it on billboards. You're gonna see it on posters. You're gonna see it on T-shirts.
Yeah.
You'll definitely not see it on me.
No.
Yeah.
You will see Ho Ho Hong Kong on us. Jim Gaffigan, Backstreet Boys, Creamfields is coming back. There's a whole lot of stuff. We obviously talk a lot of smack, but we're very happy that things are finally, especially for me, having moved here August 2019. People, by the way, people do not. Everyone who give me a reaction like as if I don't know how bad my timing was.
Yeah.
Literally today.
Really? Yeah.
Literally today we had like some shooting thing at my work, my Decent Espresso. It's like people coming from out of town, and they had a production team from Hong Kong, and we were making the small talk. And I say August 2019, and this was actually the strongest reaction I've ever seen because they cracked up laughing.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't stop laughing at how bad my timing was.
Forget even all the protests and everything. That's hot summertime.
Hot summertime, and obviously the protest is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, but they just wouldn't stop laughing, and I'm just giving them, the meme of like the little boy who's just like the blank face.
Yeah.
That's why I was just looking at them like,
You're giving me nothing new here.
Yeah, you're giving
I
me
can just
a-
imagine it's August 2019.
Yeah.
Mohammed lands in Hong Kong. He gets off the plane. He's looking out. He's looking in the distance. He's like, "Hello, Hong Kong." And all you hear is beep.
thanks everybody for tuning in to this wonderful episode. Don't forget to be grateful.